We are now joined in the studio via Zoom by the Catholic Bishop of Oyo Diocese, Bishop Emmanuel Badijo, to discuss the passing of the spiritual head of the Catholic Church. Bishop, thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Now, we want you to share with us what happens as soon as the Pope passes on.
Well, it was a big surprise to everybody, given that the Holy Father appeared at the Vatican yesterday to celebrate Easter with all the people, the multitudes who gathered there, greeting everybody and wishing them a very happy Easter, only for the day to dawn today and all of us to hear that he had passed on. It's a day of mourning, but at the same time, it's a day of great thanksgiving. The spiritual implication of the fact that the Pope died on Easter Monday, a day after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, should not be lost on anybody. As we remember that Jesus Christ has come to conquer death and darkness, we are very sure, because of our faith, that the Pope himself has been taken up to heaven to his reward by the merciful Jesus, who died so that all of us might live. May Pope Francis rest in perfect peace.
All right. What are some of the legacies that Pope Francis has left behind for those of us that are living?
I think that the legacy of Pope Francis is so transparent. He being a man who insisted a lot on social justice, on peace, and on the dignity of every human being, on his concern for the earth, for the environment, the earth which he called our home, so that all of us learn to have a proper attitude to ecology and to earth in the way in which we live, insisting that if we take good care of our earthly home, it will take care of us. Pope Francis stayed and stood all his life on the side of the poor, the marginalized, the migrants, the refugees, those who have no voice in society. That legacy should touch everyone, not just Christians, especially the leaders of today, that being a leader is about having love for those for whom we are responsible and showing that love not only in words, but in action. That is why the Pope could not even rest when doctors asked him to rest and stay away from normal duties until the very last hour before he died.
No doubt Pope Francis has left indelible footprints. Now, why is he called Holy Father, and what's the significance of his stewardship to the Catholic Church and to the global community?
Pope is the vicar of Christ on earth, and he is the successor of Peter. Just like the church itself in its characteristics is holy, apostolic, and universal, the same thing applies to the person who represents the authority of Christ in the church. He is a human being, but just at the same time, he represents Christ. And because the church, even with all its limitations and weaknesses, still remains holy, it is imperfect because human beings constitute the church, but it is holy because it is the body of Christ. Therefore, the Holy Father is called holy because of the office that he holds, because of Christ that he represents. And the implication for all of us is to believe that we human beings can actually be assumed into holiness. Depending on the way we live out our faith. Actually, this applies not only to Christians, but also to anyone who believes in God, that having come from God, God expects that all of us live the kind of life which, after our life here on earth, we can be assumed back into God. Our souls will not die. They belong to God. And therefore, we human beings hover between our imperfections and the holiness to which God has called us. The life of Pope Francis challenges all of us to try the possible best we can to live a life of love. Out of love comes humility, the sense of service, the sense of solidarity, and the sense of accommodation and acceptance of others in spite of their weaknesses.
Thank you so much, Bishop Emmanuel Badijo, for those insights.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
God bless you too.